Now that's the stuff. So finally the PS5 is here. I love it, you love it, we all love it, is what I would say, but sadly due to an ancient evil, Sony has only made approximately 7 of these. Meaning sadly it quickly became one of those scalper-ridden launches a la the Wii and the Switch. On the bright side, it does get restocked fairly often, so every 2 or 3 weeks you can have another chance of buying one. The issue is, most online retailers don't have any way of telling between a person and a Terminator, meaning about 2 actual humans get a PS5. Either way, after playing costly bingo for about 5 months, I managed to get myself one. Funnily enough, it was when I was trying to get footage of me failing to purchase one that I managed to purchase one. After that happened, I decided that I would do everything desiring failure. Since then, I've gotten a Nobel Peace Prize and more importantly, 15 subscribers. Although, come to think of it, I don't think I've checked how far away it is from me yet. Oh my god. It's here! It's here! Oh my! Show me the goods, man! Show me the goods! Nice. So here it is, the Sony PlayStation 5. It's new, it's cool, and man, this thing is huge. You know, I never thought size would be a problem when it comes to consoles. They usually float around a certain area, but this thing is unmatched. For scale, here it is next to a large family's car. Maybe that's a bad comparison. Here it is next to a PS4. Sorry, let me just zoom it out. A little bit more. There you go. Because of its size, it's gonna be really hard to actually have the thing set up properly if you use a shelf like I do. Meaning the best way for me to set it up is sideways, so it's gonna be having this weird kind of wobble to it. Upon further investigation, you can stop the wobble with the stand. But you know what? I like the wobble. And besides, the head of PlayStation has his PS5 upside down. So who can tell me what I'm doing is wrong? Which is a real shame because even though the design is hit or miss for a lot of people, I actually really like the way it looks. I remember a news article somewhere about this guy telling his wife it was an air conditioner and she actually bought it. But honestly, after looking at the picture, those are some cool looking air conditioners. Besides, if you don't like the whole white shell look, you could always take the plates off apparently. Which I've never actually done. Let me check this out. Said online all you have to do was lift up the PlayStation logo and then push down. Then repeat the same process on the back plate. And here it is, naked PlayStation 5. Which, no. At least taking the plates on and off is extremely easy. Which is convenient for me since I had no clue how I was going to record the whole taking the plates off thing. Luckily I could just do it with one hand. Thought I could maybe hang the camera off a hook I had on the wall, which Jesus Christ, this angle. Also thought about taping a camera to the top of a hat. And the only hat I found in the entire house was this one. No. But the plates being modular makes me think that Sony's eventually gonna make different plates, or at least instead of making the collector edition console, it's just a different plate. Whatever, enough about looks, it's time to actually boot the machine up. This one's a keeper. This has got to be the most smooth system UI I've ever experienced. From the sound design to the general clarity of this new layout they chose. My favorite part has got to be the screen transition effect they chose when you're picking between games. Makes me think, why doesn't life use more cross dissolve? Some game screens even have a song to accompany them. Gushing over a menu might sound strange, but I'm sorry for not making it more clear that I am a virgin. It's really great that opening up the PlayStation Store doesn't give me severe and never-ending pain. And as far as downloading a game goes, gone are the days of. To my future child. And behold a reasonable download time. It's a shame that there's only 800 gigs. So you can only realistically install a couple of games. Or one copy of Modern Warfare and some spyware. But luckily there are no games to download into that small amount of space. But hey, that brings up my favorite part about the console, the fact that it's just a PS4. That's right, the gods grace us with some backwards compatibility. Now yes, I love fire hazards as much as the next guy. But come on, this thing goes in a modern art museum, not my house. Backwards compatibility is the main reason I got the disc version of the PS5. In hindsight, yes, this is a $100 disc drive, but at least that means I never have to set up the structure ever again. And from what I've experienced, it's relatively stable. I've heard some complaints about crashes and some bug reports, but it only ever happened to me once, although that one time it did happen, it was completely unprovoked and out of nowhere. Thankfully, I was playing The Last of Us Remastered for the first time, so it didn't really matter much, since that game autosaves every time a neuron in your brain activates. Besides that one crash, it was smooth sailing for all the games I played, which, that is one weird lineup. And experiencing them in PS4 Pro mode was amazing, especially for Control, cause let's just say that game on the base PS4 was But while the PS5 being a great PS4 is cool and all, what about the actual PS5 games? Alright, so we got Demon's Souls and Astro's Playroom. Yep, that's all of them. Now yeah, there are others, but they exist on other consoles or older consoles. Or they're trash. So perhaps calling the PS5 right now a Beijing spy machine might not be too far off the mark. Luckily, Sony gives us 2 exclusive experiences. So we got Demon's Souls, a game aimed at a very small audience, and a free tech demo. Wait, what? Yeah! Alright, I'm gonna say it. This is the prettiest game. It actually makes me go, wow, this is the next generation. It's gorgeous beyond belief. It's kind of funny that the opening cinematic almost looks worse than the actual in-game gameplay. I don't know, it just has like a weird corny feeling to it. Reminds me of Smosh. It's insane the amount of detail that Bluepoint Games put into this project. Going through the tutorial shows us that, yeah, this is the same game. Minus the character creator. You can still make abominations, but now you can actually make pretty people too. Look at these animations. I'm in pain. I guess there's one for parries and backstabs for every weapon class, and they're all different. Even the fist. I'm glad to see that you can still just walk right to beat every enemy. This boss mist looks delicious. We'll say though, Vanguard looks a lot more menacing than he used to, at least in a more straightforward sense. In the original, he had a really weird, freaky look to him, kind of made him unnerving but not straight up scary. This just looks like a monster. Kinda lame, but whatever. I just can't wait to see what Dragon God looks like now. I wonder if they're gonna stick with the whole... Oh my god, he killed me. Good to know I still got the skills to beat this boss on my first try. By the way, take a look at this loading screen. Holy shit, that was fast. That must be the power of an SSD, cause damn, if you forgot what the PS4 was like, here's a reminder.
Our time on this earth is limited. What we do with that time decides for generations what we were.
At first I thought it was pointless. You know, never had a family or anything really to look after. Guess it has to do with what happened with my father. I wish he was around. He was a rough man. I know it can be hard, you know, being... Jesus Christ, finally! Anyways, it's time to see our boy DG. And can I just say this is the best you've ever looked?
Sure, you bitch ass. What? You know damn well you're gonna go with me. Get the fuck out of here.
Huh. Alright then. Astro's Playroom it is. So I don't know how to say this, but I kind of really like this baby game. So Astro's Playroom is this free game that the PS5 comes with that's practically just a tech demo. But instead of making it just some lame video that came with the console, they made it this really cool Sony-inspired Mario game, I guess? Each world representing a piece of the PlayStation 5's hardware. So this is the hub world that connects to the 4 worlds of the game. There's this cyberpunk-inspired speedway for the SSD, a really bad excuse for wordplay, memory metal for the RAM sticks, and cooling springs, which is where my house is actually now located. Within each of these worlds are 4 levels. 2 of which have you transform into something that changes up your control scheme, with the point being to better show off the controller's hardware. Oh, which reminds me, the first time you boot up the game, you get this tech demo. And in that tech demo, you You know, it's a tech demo where you know, you do, it's a tech the tech demo. You do the tech demo. What do you? The thing in the tech demo. It was
Sex button. And you're watching Ghost Jarvis.
Dog, I just keep stroking my shit. I just keep
And these transformations are extremely fun to control. Really gets the creative juices flowing for what this controller could actually be used for. Sadly, by the end of the PS5's lifespan, this game will be the only thing showing off these features. I heard in Black Ops Cold War has haptic feedback, and I hope we get more fun stuff like this. But the motion control mic and touchpad have been this since the PS4, and we all know how much that got used. Although I do think the adaptive triggers are extremely cool, and while they might not be VR, they're definitely a step closer to making everything way more immersive. Besides just feeling great. And besides the transformation levels, the normal levels themselves usually have a gimmick in them to vary up the gameplay. The world's always in a transformation segment to finish off, followed by this really cool flex on old PlayStation consoles. The PS2 one specifically makes me super nostalgic. And a bit scared. Was this always this freaky? These gigantic blank monoliths towering over this endless abyss, what were they going for? Anyways, once you finish that, you get sent to the PlayStation Labo area, which has this really pretty mural across the wall as well as being filled with all this PlayStation memorabilia. To finish the mural, you gotta find all the puzzle pieces, and to get all this stuff, you gotta find the capsules. Some of which you can find right here all the way in the back in this capsule machine. Now, I can't really show you since I've already gotten all of them, but trust me when I say that this capsule machine is one of the most satisfying things that man has ever created. Here, you can trade 100 coins that you find throughout the levels for either a capsule with some goodies in it, or a can that you can just crush and toss, which is honestly just as rewarding. But the majority of capsules are all going to be found right here in the levels. And these capsules aren't the only thing hidden throughout the levels. Scrambled throughout, you can find all these references to PlayStation IPs. The references scaling from very recognizable famous IPs to what in the fuck is a Vib ribbon. And after you finish every single level, the
enigmatic key
opens up at the bottom of the plaza so you can have your final boss. Which has got to be one of the coolest throwbacks to some ancient history. That's right, you get to face off against the 1994 PS1 Dino tech demo. And it's actually a really cool boss fight. After you smack him in the eyes a bit, we get transported into the current year. And after the dino goes off for a bit, we get to chuck some trophies into his eyeball. Then once you yank on this bad boy's red throbbing long extension long and hard, he pops and you get showered in white text. And that's Astro's Playroom. Honestly, one stellar tech demo. Whenever my friends want to try out the console, I usually put this on for them, and they all have the same response usually. Man, this feels really good. Yeah, right? Crazy it's free.
It's what?
Honestly, packaging a console with a tech demo like this is probably the best way any console launch could go. Not to say the videos aren't cool. Are they cool? I've only ever seen the PS4 one. That one was pretty funny. What about the other stuff? What is happening? What is this? What is going on? What is happening? What? Now that you've been in Astro's Playroom, that's pretty much everything the PS5 has to offer. Yeah, there's the capture gallery, but you know, that's old news. Until further notice, all I can say is that this is a damn good PS4 and it'll become an amazing console in time. But as of right now, it's just really not worth $1,000. Seriously, don't go getting scalped now. It's a great console and all, but I'm really happy that I only paid $500 for this. And besides, let's be real here, this thing is not worth a month's worth of rent. Seriously, it's a great console with a lot of promise, but even if it was like 8 years into its lifespan and had a million games, it's just not worth the inflated asking price. Luckily, by the time that there are games that you want to play on this thing, it'll be worth a normal price. But just relax, no point getting scammed. Everyone can get a PS5 in due time. Until next time, see ya.
Yo, come on, man.
Fuck 'em out.